Welcome to Inside Pitch. I'm Jeff Gordon with Lynn Worthy of the Post-Dispatch, our columnist, talking about baseball. Lynn, this power surge, where did it come from? What's happening here? These guys are out slugging the Cubs for a couple games anyways.
Yeah, they've got a couple of guys who, you expected to be offensive producers who are starting to look like what you expected. I mean, Lars Nootbaar went through a prolonged slump, and now he's starting to hit the ball out of the ballpark, be that guy that they thought that he could be. Nolan Gorman taking advantage of some playing time that he wasn't getting earlier, and now he's starting to hit the ball out of the park. I mean, they had a game where you had three different left-handed hitters hitting two-run home runs, and the two-run home run seems to be a thing for everybody nowadays.
Now, obviously, they're not going to get a lot of home runs out of Brendan Donovan, but he's kind of gotten himself back into a good place at the plate. Alec Burleson, not a giant power hitter, but boy, there's a case of a guy he needed more at bats, something Lynn Worthy has talked about and written about. And boy, he's earning those at bats, and God bless him, gives it everything he's got in the outfield as well.
Yeah, I mean, a couple years ago, I think it was he lost some weight to try and give himself a better chance to make the plays he needed to make in the outfield to be an adequate outfield defender. But he's always had the bat. He's always been a guy they believe could hit for power, could hit for average. Really, the main thing for him was trying not to be too aggressive with his plate discipline. But now he's starting to get there's sort of been that rotating spot of an odd man out, and for a while it was him not really getting the at bats that he probably needed. Gorman went through that spot where he was, the guy who wasn't getting the at bats that he probably needed. And now it's looking like it might turn to be Jordan Walker's turn, just with the way things are shaking out, even with Ivan Herrera's injury.
Yeah, you look at Burleson. If you're sitting in the stands and he's coming for you, coming for that ball. I just love everything about this guy in terms of the effort, the look. He's a different type of a player, different type of ball player, but he's just a ball player, max effort guy. And defense fielding has been an issue, a positive issue for this team, taking away outs or making outs, taking away runs. Another great example of that. I'm impressed at how far he's come on that side.
Yeah, and he's a guy that, you think about offensively too. Last season, it's easy to forget. There was a stretch where him and Mason Wynn basically carried this offense. When Goldschmidt and Arenado weren't really doing much, it was Mason Wynn at the top of the lineup, and your main power bat was Alec Burleson for a good stretch of last season. So that's in there. It's just a matter of finding where to put him defensively. At first base, he's been really good. In the outfield, he's been better than I thought, just because, again, mobility and some of those things. I mean, he's got a good arm, we know that, but he's made more plays than you probably look at him and think that he's going to be able to make as far as range. So he's been good. He's been swinging a good bat. I mean, it's hard to keep him out of the lineup.
Now, ahead of this taping, or after this taping, is we're ahead of a couple games where they're going to see some left-handed pitching, and having enough right-handed batters, particularly a right-handed bat guy who could be versatile, has been an issue all year. And the Cardinals made a move, bringing in a familiar face to at least Nolan Arenado and the coaching staff to try to fill this void. Another guy taking a shot at a spot that just hasn't been very productive for this team this year.
Yeah, Garrett Hampson they make that addition. He should be here with the team shortly. Didn't play that first day after they made the move, but he's on his way. Guy who can play a lot of positions, especially in the middle of the field. The majority of his career has been at second base, shortstop, center field. So any guy who can play those spots, you can put him. You feel confident being able to put him anywhere on the field. And it'll be interesting to see how the playing time shakes out, because he replaces Jose Barrero, who really wasn't getting much time. So now there's a guy that seems like they feel confident in what he can give you defensively and where you can put him in different places. But you also still have Thomas Ajayce up right now. You've got Nolan Gorman starting to get those at bats that he wasn't getting before. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But adding another guy that you're confident can help you is never a bad thing, especially as you're getting into the summer months.
Now, the atmosphere out at Busch Stadium has been pretty good recently with this team on an upward trend. The division is exciting. Nolan Arenado's excited. This is shaping up. The 4th of July is coming here. We're not going to go too far down the road, but the 4th of July is coming here. And El Central, a lot of fun. I mean, Milwaukee's played well. The Cardinals are back in the chase. The Cubs have been good all year. Cincinnati's got some young players, some young talent that's starting to progress. So I love where this division is as we're getting into the very hot days of summer.
And it's going to be really interesting to see how things shake out here, because a lot of teams are starting to play each other. You have these long stretches where, like, it's end of June and the first time that the Cardinals and Cubs are playing, which is a little bit ridiculous, but just a quirk of the balanced schedule. But you look at the division as a whole right now, you've got like 4 teams within 6 games of each other, and it's still not July yet. It's one of those times where it's both an opportunity but also a little dangerous, because you start playing badly against some teams that somebody's picking up ground or has the potential to pick up ground, which means somebody has a potential to drop and lose some ground and maybe put yourself in a little bit of a hole. So it's an opportunity, but it's also a little bit of a dangerous time, especially with another series with the Cubs coming up in Wrigley pretty soon. So there's a lot of things could happen as you start to get closer and closer to the trade deadline at the end of July.
Well, we were glad to be able to pump some sunshine this week on Inside Pitch. A reminder that you can get this video all season long with all the other cool stuff we're doing in the digital edition of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch over at stltoday.com. We appreciate your support in local journalism. Until next time, for Lynn Worthy, I'm Jeff Gordon. See you later.